Good morning, it's Melissa with Meraki Healing Arts, and I'm going to do a quick, hopefully quick message using the ShadowWork deck, looking at what is being worked on right now in ShadowWork. I really feel called to do this reading for the masculine collective, those in masculine energy, whether you're male or female, what within our masculine energy is being looked at or being faced at this time about our shadow. So, spirits, guides, and ancestors, give us the message we need to hear. Give us the message we need to hear. Remember that all humans carry male and female energy. It's not about how you identify as male, female, non-binary. We all have. Knock those out. Those flew out. I'm going to grab them in a second. It's about the yin yang, male, female energy in our bodies. Okay, all right, we've got quite a week there. Let's see what we have. Oh, that's a lot. Wow. Okay, this is a lot. This is deep stuff. Victim, helplessness, external blame, learned powerlessness. So, I tend to think of our masculine energy as more of the action taker, and this card being the victim. It's when we, male or female, non-binary, when we are sitting in an attitude of helplessness, placing external blame on others, and a learned powerlessness. So we can't step into our masculine part of our power and our strength if we're feeling helpless and we have a learned powerlessness, placing the blame on others for the circumstances in our life. I understand that you can have traumas that you have lived through and negative experiences that you've lived through, but that doesn't mean that you are helpless. That doesn't mean that you are powerless. You can fully take your power back, step into your own power and say, yes, that happened to me, but that doesn't mean that that defines me, that labels me for the rest of my life as I am powerless, and this situation, person, or event has power over my life. So working through the shadow of that. The next card out is Fixer. Codependency, taking on the savior role and avoiding your own pain. So when we try to be a fixer for everyone else, you know, and this can be for a combination of reasons, that maybe you don't want anyone to grow up or anyone to live experiencing any kind of the pain, abandonment, rejection that you felt. You don't want anyone to go hungry. You don't want anyone to feel unloved. But when it takes on when you caring about someone else's pain and trying to fix them, fix everything for them, to the expense of your own self, where you're avoiding your own pain and just dealing with everyone else's, that is a codependent role of being a fixer, and that's something that needs to be looked at and balanced. That you need to love and care and nurture for yourself. And yes, you can give to others. Give from that overflow when you have, and that doesn't mean not to give to others. That doesn't mean to be selfish to a fault where you won't be helpful, kind, or compassionate to others. But love yourself first. Nurture yourself first. It's kind of the put on your own oxygen mask first. And then you can be helpful, you can be a guide, but you cannot fix another person. So you cannot take on other people's emotional or spiritual healing. That you can lead, you can guide, you can lead by example, you can mentor, but you cannot do the soul work of another person. So you have to detach to the point where you recognize that. The next card out is Hero. Overfunctioning, martyrdom, or burnout, where again, that's kind of the fixer role. Wanting to make sure everybody is okay. You might overfunction at work. You might overfunction in your family dynamic, taking on the role of, I have to do this for everybody, no one else will step up. And becoming a martyr and carrying a weight and a burden and a real 10 of wands on your back, where you're just doing for so many others, and martyring yourself in the process to where you're just reaching the point of burnout and exhaustion. The next card out is repeating cycles, unconscious loops, familiar pain, and pattern addiction. So it's we do what we do because it's always what we've done, and you just keep repeating that infinity loop of behavior. My partner hurts me, so I go silent. That hurts my partner. They go silent on me, or they say nasty words to me. And, now I've got to either wait it out or come back and apologize. And then something happens and the trigger happens again, and it all happens again. It goes back and forth and back and forth. So if you've ever dealt with that, where you don't communicate well, or you're not emotionally balanced, and you go through that loop, or I know there's all kinds of repeating cycles you could be in. Addicted to the pattern of, this is how we've always done it. She gets mad and yells and breaks things, and I storm out. Or, he cheats, and then she goes out and cheats. It's a tit for tat. Or... well, he's trying to control me, and that's not going to work, so I'm just going to go out and run up the credit cards. Spitefulness, unhealthy patterns, you're silent, I went silent, or repeating cycles of getting into the kind of relationships where you have to act as, or where you are acting as the victim, the fixer, the hero, and repeating that over and over. Maybe if I do enough for this person, then they'll see me, and then they'll reflect love back to me. So overdoing for others. Attracting wounded partners. Your unhealed self is attracting another's unhealed self. If you're building trauma bonds, if you have a mirror effect on each other, that because you're on a similar vibrational frequency, and you haven't reached a point where you've healed enough in you that you recognize a pattern or you recognize a behavior. And that doesn't mean instantaneously just, I mean, sometimes, yeah, but, but you can take a watch for a little bit and see how someone behaves, how they act, how they speak. Their actions are going to tell you a lot. And if you're still in a very wounded place, you may very likely bond with others who are also unhealed in many of the same ways. So mirroring each other. The next card out is validation addiction, needing external approval, an identity blur to fill the inner void. This is the I have to have 1 million followers, or I have to be talking to all kinds of people on dating apps, needing people to tell me how wonderful that I am. And there's nothing wrong with putting your message out there in social media or just sharing your life. But if you're obsessed with the numbers, if you're obsessed with the validation, if you're obsessed with needing others to tell you that you're the best, you're the best, you're the best, to where your true identity is no longer your true identity, you're not really being your true self. Know that woundedness is because you're trying to fill a void inside of you, somewhere where you felt rejected or abandoned by others, or that a part of you was not accepted. So, and that could be anything. That could be from your, that could be from a societal rejection. That could be from a family rejection or partner rejection. Or even that you're rejecting part of yourself. All right, what do we want to do? We're going to use the, and then we're going to get a quick message from the Path of Light deck to say maybe some guidance for how you can, what aspect of that shadow that you can work on to heal. Yeah, I know my voice sounds really deep and rough today. I think I'm coming down with a little bit of a cold. I got home from work yesterday, ate real quick, and started sneezing. I'm telling you, I must have sneezed about 20 times in a row. And I was like, oh, that's not good. Let me take some vitamins and get my butt in bed. Yeah, I slept pretty hard. But I woke up with my throat not feeling the greatest today. I hear the wind shaking the vent behind the stove. It must be another windy day. All right. I don't know why these cards are sticking, but they are. Anything else? Spirits, guides, and ancestors. Anything else? We have light. I am committed to self-improvement, embracing all that life brings with an open heart. With each step, I grow stronger, more resilient, and more radiant in the light of my journey. So, shadow work, committing to self-improvement. And peace of mind. Through love, release, and inner reflection, I find peace. My perspective is gentle and loving, and I approach each step with confidence, believing that you can heal the things in you that have not been healed. In moments of fear, I remain brave, knowing that peace resides within me. So, suggestions for moving through the shadow work is in the times of isolation and reflection, stay committed to your self-improvement. Embrace that every part of your life embrace all of the different things that life brings you, and embrace it with an open heart. Even the negative experiences are a soul lesson and a chance to grow. And remember that you grow stronger and more resilient, more radiant in the light of your journey. So that was light and peace of mind. Let's see. I really feel like we have one more. One more card, Spirit, for suggestions for moving through shadow work. Suggestions for healing, please, Spirit. One more. There was one more. One more. Thank you, Spirit. Freedom. I realize that failure brings doubt and resentment, so I choose to embrace the sunshine. By staying positive, I find peace and open myself to the light within. Through this, I free myself from negativity and allow my inner radiance to guide me. So, maybe just because a part of your healing journey didn't fully anchor, is what I'm hearing. Don't count that as a failure and let you have doubt or resentment. Embrace sunshine, positivity, peace, open yourself to the light within, connectedness to the Most High, and free yourself from negativity. Allow your inner radiance to guide you. So being very connected to the Most High and yourself, to the light. We are all creatures of light, created by light. The darkness that is within this world is not our true nature. Channeling. So you have to free yourself from the negative thinking of any negative labels that you are unworthy, unclean, unloved, unlovable, not enough. And know that you are a powerful being of light. All right, everyone. Remember to hit like, share, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. And remember to hit the share, save, comment, and heart if you're on TikTok. Have a blessed day.